In order to make a cord holder for these cords on my battery charger, first thing I did was I drilled and tapped 2 holes in the top right here. They're 5 inches apart, and I used an 832 tap to drill those holes. Now the plan is then to use these. They're aluminum, 1/2 inch diameter aluminum, about 1.5 inches long, both the same of course. And in both ends I have put 832 tapped holes. So I'm going to place those here and here for starters. Now in the ends I could have put set screws, but I'm a little short on set screws right now, so I'm going to use these 832 screws. I'll screw them in and then cut them off to length. And then I'll be able to mount them in here. Now before you put the screws in, it's a good idea to take a solvent, I'm using electronic cleaner, and just give them a shot in the end. And that'll take any grease out because I intend to glue them in there. And if you're going to use glue, you don't want it greasy inside there. So I've done that to both of these. I ended up using Loctite to screw the 832 screws into the bottom of these. And if you decide to use screws instead of using a set screw, I would suggest that you put a couple of nuts on the screw like so. And when you screw this in to the other end of here, nice and tight with a little bit of Loctite or glue, you'll be cutting it off in the center here, and once this end falls off, you will then have a nut to back off, and that's going to clean your threads out. And then on your other smaller end, like this one, you will still have the nut on that, and you can back the nut off that, and that will clean your thread out there. So the next thing to do is make sure that we still have a 5-inch relationship here. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't, but you can just check that out to make sure you've still got your 5 inches. We're going to use some of this material to make the top part of this is going to fit on like so. So I'm going to be cutting a piece off of this at a nice appropriate length, maybe somewhere around in here. And we'll be drilling 2 holes in it so that we can put these smaller screws through the holes and hold it on there. Alright, you're looking at the assembled finished part, except for painting of course. This material was 3/4 wide, 1/8 of an inch thick, and exactly 5 inches. It worked out just fine for the spacing of those 2 holes. I used an 11/64 clearance drill for my 832 screws, but any drill that allows them to go through will be just fine. Now once it's done, you can just wrap your cord around like so, and you have your other cord as well. Wrap around like so. And you've got another handle to pick it up if you want, I guess. Here's the handle right here. So you can cart it around like that. To be notified of more great ideas, please click on the subscribe button.